As you know, Europe is synonymous with pickpocketer. They mostly target tourists. They're part of pickpocketing rings. They use a lot of children to do this because it's easier for them to do it stealthily. And also, the laws in Europe are so weak, there's no enforcement, that these pickpocketers, if they do get arrested, which is very rare, they get released the same day. But apparently, the local law enforcement in places like Venice, London, Paris have a new problem on their hands, and it's American tourists. The local law enforcement in Europe, in these cities where these pickpocketers target tourists, are specifically having problems with Americans being really one of the only groups of tourists that are beating the shit out of these pickpocketers. This is a very recent incident. A North Carolina woman was vacationing in Venice when a pickpocket stole her purse with her passport in it. This woman then tracked down the pickpocket through her AirPod Find My AirPod app, and long story short, she stood on business.
You stole my purse with my passport in it. Police! Little girl, I have 8 kids. You're not getting to me. Call them. Okay. You're the one screaming. That's right. Let's get the police, and maybe I'll get my passport back. I don't even care if you keep the cash. I don't even care if you keep the cash. Thank you, sir.
And apparently this is not an isolated incident, because recently at the Paris Olympics, the French police had to issue a warning to American tourists to stop kicking the shit out of the pickpockets. Americans attending the Paris Olympics were beating up the pickpocket. The police in Paris had to contain the Americans. Americans who detected that a pickpocket had targeted them were not responding in the way French pickpockets expected. Instead of gently alerting other people that pickpockets were about, Americans were attacking the people who attempted to relieve them of their valuables. France is a hugely popular destination for tourists worldwide, and Paris is consistently one of the most visited cities. Unfortunately, the research found the city has the second highest number of pickpocketing incidents mentioned in Europe at 251 per million visitors. Paris is known for the skill and daring of its pickpockets. However, the American State Department warned Americans attending the Olympics beforehand that people were trying to steal their money, so they came prepared. Several things were done to dissuade pickpockets. Americans were told to be more aware of their surroundings, cautious of their bags, always keep them in sight and secure, and very skeptical of distractions that remove their focus from belonging. Some Americans, in addition to being extra vigilant, took the advice to secure their belongings to the next level. Some Americans had their valuables attached to them via wire or string. When some attempted to pull their items from them, the tether on the item, the attachment, stopped them, alerting the owners to the person trying to steal from them. Other Americans took more extreme methods and decided to booby trap items, leaving multiple pickpocketers hospitalized. God, I love my countrymen, my fucking compatriots. So of course, people have an opinion about this on X. And the overwhelming reaction is support for the American tourists for smacking the shit out of these pickpocketers. But there are one or two people that have shit to say about my people. Someone on TikTok said the lady trying to pickpocket only dealt with a level 4 American, and comments saying they haven't even met A-Team and how A-Team ain't even allowed out of the country. This user says, right, there's a reason they still pickpocket in Europe, by the way. Took an American, a woman American, to show you guys how to deal with them. Haven't heard of getting pickpocketed in the US since before my time. But since the European people have no backbone, it's easy to do so. This woman's got shit to say. I guarantee there's only one reason that video of the American woman standing up to the gypsy pickpocket is going viral: to brainwash Americans into thinking Europeans are all thieves and Americans are better because they have zero clue about gypsy problem or who they are. Now, here's what it's about, and here's why videos like this go viral in the United States. I thought it was normal in everybody's culture, but apparently it's a uniquely American thing where if somebody takes your shit, they get hit. I truly did not know that in Europe, this was a controversial concept. So the reason that Americans, by and large, are so invested in this is we honestly, guys, if you're European, we can't believe how you have no fucking backbone. We're very, very, very upset that a lot of Americans are of European descent and the people from our mother countries are allowing this bullshit, and their law enforcement is allowing this bullshit. They're also allowing their own governments to take away freedom of speech. That's a whole other issue. We want to visit Europe. If somebody steals our shit, it's on. We're not going to cower and wait for an official. That's not how we roll. And that's not how you should roll either. The reason these pickpocket rings are so successful and they're spreading like a bad muff rash is because nobody's being held accountable. They steal from these people and they run away, and the people who catch them stealing cower and wait for an official to come by and bail them out. That's not how we operate. So now this also has an added benefit for Americans, because apparently inside of pickpocketer rings in their circles, there's reports coming out that they're telling their pickpocketers not to target Americans because they thrive off of stealthily stealing from people. They're not armed robbers. Their whole thing is designed around the person who got pickpocketed not knowing in the moment and not causing a scene. When you steal from an American tourist, there's gonna be a fucking scene. People are getting German suplexed. That's just how we roll. And it's actually weirdly in some way protecting other American tourists, because now these pickpocketers aren't targeting all Americans. It's creating a total stereotype. So if you guys want to get pickpocketed, that's your own fucking business. If we come to your country and we're there on vacation and these people want to target tourists and your police don't want to do anything about it, we're gonna hand out street justice. It's just how we are. Point blank, period. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me tremendously.